Hey there, you're listening to The Mighty Mommy with some quick and dirty tips for practical parenting. It's holiday time again. Holidays usually mean families and friends gather to celebrate and enjoy each other's company. For some of us, that means having a house full of children running amok. I love when that's my house. But what if you're taking your kids to a house that isn't child-friendly? What if yours is the house to be visited and you don't have children? How do you prepare for these occasions? Well, I definitely have some suggestions. So, what was I talking about? Oh yes, it was the bull in the china shop, right? Well, a 3-year-old in a living room with a glass-topped coffee table covered with porcelain vases is about the same thing. If you're going to be visiting a home that is not child-friendly, you may want to let your host know what to expect. If they want you to visit and insist that you bring the kids, you could suggest that they take some measures to protect their belongings. In the back of your mind, you might also be thinking that you're actually protecting your children. Broken glass will hurt a child much worse than the child will hurt the glass. Granted, there will always be people who don't want children in their homes for this very reason. If you, as a parent, know this to be the case, either get a sitter or pass on the invitation. Even if the kids are invited, if you don't think they will be truly safe and welcomed, it's sometimes a relief for everyone if you just say you can't make it. You can always invite the host to your house on a more convenient day. If you're visiting hosts who absolutely want your children to come visit, or if that host is you, be prepared. Toddlers have wily ways, and even the best behaved of small children can get excited about something they've never seen before. There are a few things you can keep on hand to deter children from knocking over those 2, 3, or 10 things you or your host didn't even consider an issue until the kids arrived. I've learned that even if I bring things for my kids to play with, they'll still opt for the things that they find in the place we're visiting. So, you may want to buy some things yourself and ship them or take them over before your visit. If your host is gracious enough, or is grandma, you can probably just share a short list of items to have on hand for your arrival. It's amazing how a fresh new box of crayons is so much more enticing when it lives at someone else's house. Of course, you'll need paper or coloring books to go with the crayons. Really, any type of craft supplies are great. Stick with the washable kind. You might even consider a whiteboard and washable markers. If Grandma wants some masterpieces to keep, then paper is absolutely the way to go. Other items that help to keep little hands busy are Play-Doh, a deck of cards, puzzles, soft plastic or foam balls, and my all-time favorite toy, the Magna Doodle. These are items you might have around your own home, but when the kids are somewhere else, they'll be much more excited about them. I don't really know the reason for this phenomenon, but I have experienced it with my kids. If there's an area available for outdoor play where you'll be visiting, you might consider having sidewalk chalk on hand. You could even set up a watercolor easel outside if your host is okay with it. Running around outside is generally a fun activity by itself. Just be sure the area is safe beforehand. Get the lowdown from your host. You can ask what types of activities will be available for the children, and if it's acceptable, you can stop by in advance with some playthings just in case the kids get antsy. Let your host know that it's just a precaution and that you want to make sure the children have something to do so that the adults can have some time to chat and visit as well. This is a good time to remind your host that your children are young and they may want to consider relocating any precious or breakable items that might be within the reach of the little hands. Regardless of how much prep you've done, remember that kids will be kids. Sometimes they aren't really trying to misbehave, they're simply excited about their new surroundings. Before you head over to Grandma's house, and then again on the way, remind your children of their manners. Advise them not to play with furniture or decorations in the house. Let them know that they need to be on their best behavior and to ask you before they start playing with any of Grandma's things. They may very well forget everything you told them the minute they run in and see Grandma's piano in the living room, and you know Grandma will always say, "Oh, it's okay, let them play." You may need to double check on these situations and get a feel for what Grandma really wants, but absolutely remind your children of their manners. If everyone is safe and happy, be sure to relax and enjoy yourself too. That's why you went over there in the first place, isn't it? If you'd like to request a topic for the Mighty Mommy, you can email me directly at mommy@quickanddirtytips.com or leave a message by calling 206-202-2185. This is your friend, the Mighty Mommy, wishing you happy and fun parenting.